Hi everyone, I am Fulgentius J. Cruz, and this is a reaction video about the effects of COVID 19 in our everyday lives. As we all know, there's an ongoing quarantine all over the world, and I suppose that this is an opportunity to do something productive. This is also an opportunity to do the things that were postponed a lot of times. Now, what we will talk about is how COVID 19 affects our daily lives, and we are going to reflect on a realistic approach. First, I will discuss its negative effects. Second, I will talk about its positive effects and I will give my sentiments about the situation and the things that I can suggest that I believe will be able to help solve this battle against the pandemic. As we all know, or maybe not all, but a lot of us know that this virus can be spread through physical touch and too much exposure, especially in the places that most of the infected, whether they are aware or not, recently visited, and even the things that almost everybody have no choice but to have contact, such as doorknobs, money, etc. That means that our safety against this virus is not something we should take for granted. This enemy is not someone that we should take easy, and that's the reason why governments all over the world implemented a community quarantine. Other countries even enforced a lockdown, but I would like to emphasize not just the effects of the virus itself on our daily lives, but also the effects of the safety measures that we are obliged to follow and the new normal life that we have to live. The scarier part there is that if we won't be able to follow the quarantine whatsoever protocols, we'll be facing a lot of risks. It's either we'll be staying in prison for weeks or our own lives will be at risk. Another risk is that every people we encounter could also be at risk because we'll never know if we're already infected or not for the next 14 days the moment we expose ourselves outside. That alone is a negative effect. Another negative effect is that the economy is rapidly collapsing. Resources from all across the globe are decreasing more and more. Scarcity, especially from poorer countries, are even more felt than before. Starvation is even more present now because a lot of people lost their jobs, other people have no jobs, other people cannot work from home. The pandemic makes the lives of the rich difficult and the situation of the unprivileged even more difficult. The last negative effect that I would like to emphasize is that before this pandemic, a lot of us are already hard to control, hard to discipline. I understand that in some ways, not being easy to control is positive, but what I see, based on what a lot of people are doing, are not just being hard to control. People are doing it on purpose. Some people are not submitting just so they can let their leaders see and feel that their leaders are the enemies. People are choosing not to follow just to show hate, just to trigger other people, just to expose leaders of their bad sides and not focus on the good that the leaders have done. People are choosing not to cooperate, and that just makes the situation worsen. People are fighting about things that are not important, such as comparing this president to that president, trash talking each other for the TV networks that they support, etc. Almost everybody keep whining about the things that are not present than to be grateful of what they have. People keep on telling they want a good leader that will help make the situation change, but doesn't realize that there is someone that is actually doing his job. People just don't realize that they should also do their part. Everyone wants someone to lead, but not everyone is willing to follow. To be frank, we humans are killing more humans than the coronavirus does, and that leads us to the positive effects. First, as what I've said earlier, while we are staying at home, trying to survive every day instead of constantly whining, the time that the pandemic consumes also gives us the time to realize that if we, humans, have the power to hurt each other, we are also capable of lifting each other's spirits up. Through this time of crisis, there comes the opportunity for a great brainstorming on how to make the situation better. Instead of treating each other as enemies, this is an opportunity for us to look and consider each other as allies. This is an opportunity for everybody, for every nation, to use the power of teamwork in a positive way. This is an opportunity also for those who are powerful to realize that their wealth means nothing if there is no safe place to live in anymore. That's why they also have to use it for the betterment of the world. This is an opportunity to realize that all of us want the world to heal, and this is not us versus each other, but us against the problem. This is an opportunity for us to draw closer to God, who will surely heal us. And finally, this is a good opportunity for us to unite and to be drawn closer to each other, despite the need to do the physical type of social distancing for now. We may have to be away from each other, but remember, all of us are never apart.